Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kissed your little baby, you've kissed the face of God. Oh, Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, praises of the Lord. Oh, Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? And the sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Oh, Mary, did you know?
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till He appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, this weary soul rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Christ was born. Oh night, oh night, oh night divine.
Our Christmas play drama tonight is really a play within a play. The first short play, titled Righteous Reward or Wicked's Plight, plays up and enhances the meaning of the biblical play death of the righteous and of the wicked, the play within the play. The time of our first play is during the latter part of the 19th century, or within the 1880s through the 1890s period. Think upon these true-to-life situations as we enter into the scenes of our drama, written by Jessee-King.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bone. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Say, please don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
All this grubbing and bending is just killing my back. Seems like sheens have been happening up there in them our factories. They say especially so up there in them northern outfits. Looks like winds could get us some help down here with all this washing.
I do believe our rich neighbor does have some crude-looking sheen in her cabin that helps her do something. Well, my memory ain't none too good, but I believe my schoolgirl Lindsay tells me they invented a crude sheen, called it washing sheen, somewheres around 1858. Why, with that sheens, we wouldn't have to wring our pole hands off. Just do something like stick it through the winging parts of the sheen and it's all wrung out by itself.
Like an old chicken neck, I reckon, huh? Well, I tell you one thing, Siri O'Neill, it sure is taking long enough time for to get that sheen to get around to these parts. Anyways, I don't guess we-uns could afford such a work saver. Just have to scrub and scrub. It's from morn to sundown. It's work, work, work. Yep, I guess the saying is true of a woman's work. A man works from dawn till dusk, but a woman's work is never done. Now, don't you agree with that?
Speaking of what's going on the rest of the world, quep in here these backwoods, I hears a little bit what's going on around here.
Now, Sir O'Neill, don't you gossip none, and you make sure what you repeat is truth. Anyways, most true.
Well, you know that Miss Pruitt, the teacher, and then there's that Mrs. Whammer. Well, anyways, that Mrs. Pruitt's contract, or whatever it's called, going to be up soon, and you'd think she's so polite. But let me tell you a little something. There's some disgrumblement about her staying around to teach our righteous children much longer. Now, I mustn't say nothing out of school, for we-uns know it's a sin to talk about our brother. Of course, in this case, it's being sister. But I reckon what I have to say is truth.
Now, Siri, the children love the new teacher and say she's the best they've ever had. They say she's a real Christian if they ever saw one. Now, I ain't got much education, but I just thinks I knows a child of God when I see one. I'll have to inspect her out myself, and then I'll start a judging. Now, you just tell what you got to tell, and then I'll start judging according to my heart.
Well, you know that a single female teacher ought not have a man friend during her first period of contract, and she's supposed to be one of the utmost righteous character. Well, I heard it from the horse's mouth that she does have a feller. And a little more than that. Anyway, she appears to me to be just a city slicker. And I mean to tell you, I seems for myself.
Well, I believe you. Anything you say, Siri O'Neill. But I hadn't got that impression from little Kimberly and Samantha. But if you really know this and all those other things you've said, maybe we ought to encourage our men folks not to renew her stay when they go to the town meeting next week.
Would you look yonder? Talking about bad characters, here comes a live one, Our Lady of the Town.
Oh my, what have we here? Who you chewing up this time? Especially you, Sari.
I'll have you know I'm a good churchgoer and don't gossip any. My religion plumb against it. Bet you be well known.
That's just it. I don't try and hide mine like some people. Excuse me, Fanny. I believe you'd be all right if it weren't for your influence from Miss Sari here. Yes, sirree. This Miss Sari is sure some good example. Leastways, I help my brother out when he's in need.
For a fact. And some of 'em happen to be a few husbands.
Now, sorry, we don't know Miss Marlborough does anything like that. I just wish you'd quit drinking, Nell. It ain't good for your health. And I do know you're way big-hearted.
Well, I'm a-doing better. Just have to drown my troubles. And it's just occasionally I light up. You know, someday they might name a smoke after me.
I do wish you'd change your ways and come to church.
And be like you? Huh! No, thanks. I help more people in a week than you and some church folk do in a lifetime.
Now, Nell, don't get bitter. There's as many wonderful Christians. True, there's some hypocrites, but they's as few.
Guess you're right there, Fanny. I do happen to know some righteous folk, and in my book, one of 'em be that Miss Pruitt, the new schoolmarm.
Huh.
Well, it's been told me some hypocrites don't like her. They're just jealous 'cause she's so pretty. Why, she ain't after none of their men. Besides, she's careful about dating. I know a real Christian sweet on her. But like I say, she's careful and well respected. By the way, I'm getting me a new washing machine real soon. Well, I got to go. Now, Fanny, you be careful. Mina sure can be catching.
Oh, hussy, wish she'd mind her own beeswax.
Now, sorry, you should be careful with her. She don't claim to be no Christian. We got to try to win her. She has a soul, too, and she's way big-hearted.
I learned a lot from my reader today. Miss Pruitt sure is a good teacher. Yeah, she prays and tells us about Jesus too.
That was something how the daughter of old Herod's wife asked for the head of girl John the Baptist as a reward for her dancing.
It's great both teachers tell us about the Bible. I feel sorry for John the Baptist and Jesus too for dying on a mean old cross. They both are awesome fellows.
Well, Miss Wimmer also said Jesus was a cousin of John the Baptist. I didn't know that, did you?
Well, I knew that, but then of course.
Well, Mrs. Wilmer is your mother, Lauren.
Now, you know, just 'cause she's my mother and also is one of our two teachers, she'd never play favoritism. She'd say that was wrong and your sins always find you out. You all know it happens to be her motto.
Well, I like both school marms.
Me too. I'm going to be Miss Pruitt's friend too. I hear talk she might not be staying. It'd break our hearts if she left. She's a real neat lady.
Yes, to be old and all. They're wonderful cows. Excuse me, I don't guess they be over the hill too much. Especially 'cause Miss Pruitt ain't married. Anyhows, Mama says they're models. Whatever that means.
Your mama means they're role models, good examples to follow. I see Ginger and Lindsay. I'm going to get with them. See ya.
We had a swell day. Here, let me help you with your hard work.
Now, don't mind, child. Go in and change your clothes and do any spelling and arithmetic you've got. Then you can come back and help me then, okay?
I help my mama too. Well, I help my mama more 'cause I'm older.
Let's go. I gotta get home and do some chores too.
I don't like what has happened today. I'm going to tell my mama.
Well, you best tell your mama in a quiet way so those big bully boys don't know and get a strap from their papas.
Yep, if they youngs get a strap from their papas, we youngs will get a fat lip from those meanies. I do agree 100% that Mrs. Prue is a good schoolmarm and a wonderful lady. She seems to care about us, each of us and all of us.
I'm going to at least let those mean boys know that I like Miss Pruitt and don't think too kindly of them if they continue to make trouble.
Those old meanies took my reader and hid it, and it took 2 whole hours to find it. I sure hope the men folk don't listen to those mean old boys' lies and get rid of Miss Pruitt.
Speaking of those mean old boys, make it hard for Miss Pruitt. They're not the only ones. Some of the women do a lot of gossiping, even though they say they don't. Look up there, my Mrs. Hawkins, and my own mother's even worse by a long shot than Mrs. Hawkins is.
I believe Miss Hawkins does the best she knows. She can't read or write. Your mother influences her badly sometimes, perhaps, but I do like them both. They tell us never to talk about anyone. I'm not going to tell them anything that's going on. Let's just speak.
Now, girls, we hope you weren't talking about anyone. You know, it's against the good book to talk about our brother.
We weren't talking about our brother, just telling what some mean old boy's been doing at our good schoolmarm.
Now, children, watch what you say. Children, make sure every word is truth.
Best to keep that old lip buttoned, I always say. Believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see. That is, if you can't see well. Never, but never gossip, sweet children, for gossiping is a sin.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonder what those young'uns heard. Sure would like to know. Sure would make for some juicy talking.
Those two are like Pharisees, especially my mother. They say to do such and such, but they do it themselves.
Yep, sometimes your mom has a spirit like old Herod and his wicked wife, what Miss Pruitt told us about.
Well, getting back to the happenings with John the Baptist and several other good people being mistreated. Miss Pruitt always says there's a bad spirit in this world that causes such tragedies. I sure don't want that kind of spirit to get a hold of me. Let us hurry on home.
This other day I heard that teenager Mel say, I'm going to see that Miss Pruitt leaves and never returns. I can't stand the ground she walks on. She's so pious. She stinks. He might have something there.
And you told me James said and agreed. Right on, old buddy. She butters all them smaller children. I laughed and I laughed when they hid Lawrence Reader, and that little booger like they never found it.
Yep, and that old Miss Pruitt made me stand in the corner and wear that dunce cap. I'm so glad she sat down on a little ways on that tyke I set. And then if it hadn't been for one of those other little brats, someone would have gotten the blame.
Well, old mean James said, well, our pappy's going to make sure she don't get her track renewed. Yes, sir. We're going to play a big part in it. You know, with all the ornery things we've done to her, she still declares she likes us. In the Lord, she says.
Then Mel says, yes, she likes us, but not our ways.
Them two spoiled rotten by their pappies. They need to strap, and they sure get it, they was mine.
They have to be the ones the children were talking about being so mean.
Jennifer, we must be forgiving. Honey, I do love Mel and James. They have been neglected and spoiled. They need Christ.
I would say they're like Judas, but Judas wasn't always bad. No, maybe they're more like Herod, mean to the core.
Let's pray for them. And you always remember what I've taught you.
Everything's going to be all right, ma'am. It's just got to be. Our Father has got to put you back in. You're the best teacher we've ever had. Miss Wimmers is good too.
Speaking of the lady of the hour, here she comes with a pupil.